So, I'm recording this on June 14th, 2025, and to say the Toontown community went up in flame yesterday would be a bit of an understatement. For those wondering just what the hell is going on, the recent revelation has come out that a grand majority of the Toontown Corporate Clash team, most of which worked on the 1.3 update Highs and Heroes, have all left the team. There was a max exodus some time ago, actually. People are only just now finding out about this. To be honest, I thought a lot more people knew this than actually did. um, it became pretty clear to me for a while that a lot of the people who made Clash what it was have since left the team. But it took this blog post from Doug, one of the previous leads on the game. Very specifically, they were let me check. Okay, they led production and direction. So yes, unfortunately, as you can see from this chart and this blog post, I strongly recommend reading this blog post, by the way. It's incredibly insightful. A lot of the team who made Clash what it was have left. If you're wondering why in the last few months Clash has been constantly posting application images, this is why. Most of their team has left, and what they have now is not quite a skeleton crew, but it's incredibly small. The post kind of flew under the radar for a few days. It was made on the 8th of June, but really didn't blow up until the 13th. I wasn't even made aware of it until that day. On that day, I was doing a birthday stream, and I thought I'd check out Clash's Golf. I did not realize that Golf in Corporate Clash has completely broken itself. The skybox is missing, and the physics just don't work as they should. As you can see in this clip, I'm literally hitting the ball at 90% strength, and it's just not going up the ramp as it should be. Clearly something is wrong here. They broke something. Toontown's golf is incredibly janky, but this should not be happening. So, what the hell is going on, right? I make a post on No Context Toontown about this, just sharing it. Nothing all that serious, I just wanted to put it out there. And after somebody replies mentioning that the game has been silent for a few months on updates and it's probably not going to get fixed anytime soon, I kind of just dropped the bombshell. I didn't expect it to be as earth-shattering as it was, but I mentioned, yeah, pretty much their entire team left, so that checks out. And just immediately, I get multiple replies. People are just befuddled by this revelation. And the only thing I have to reply with is the blog post, because up until now there really hadn't been any real conclusive proof I could point to about the fact most of the Clash staff had left. It was really just my word for it. So once people saw this blog post and read it, all hell broke loose. People immediately the entire community just came to the revelation at that one moment. Oh shit. Most of the Clash team are gone. Yeah, it was absolute fucking chaos. What ended up coming of that was a Reddit post where somebody shared the blog post, and in the replies, a lot of former Clash staff members would share their experiences about what happened, just all the crap they had to deal with while working on Clash. Once again, I strongly encourage you to read a lot of these posts in your own time. They are absolutely devastating. To make matters worse, Sheriff Cranky, the tech and community lead of the game, the man who sounds like a goddamn AI,
We have been showing a lot of cock.
starts coming into the thread, defending himself, not taking any responsibility or accountability for what he's done, just talking in this fucking mindless fucking PR speak. It's embarrassing. He is to blame for most of this, from what I've come to understand, from what I've heard people talk about who worked on the game. He was the main one causing these problems. A lot of the awful ideas, just problems that came to be with Clash, most of them are on him.
All of this, falling apart like this, is on you.
So for him to come here and act like none of this is his fault, and to essentially victim blame these people who had real grievances with his game and how he practiced these things, he should be fucking ashamed of himself. And unfortunately, I don't think anything's gonna change. As much as I wish they could, I don't see him stepping down or being kicked off the team. I just don't see it happening. So what can we do about this? I don't know. Because of the current state of Clash, because most people on the team who really got stuff done, who contributed to some of the best updates the game ever had, because most of them are gone, the game has just been left in this state of rot and decay for a long time now. As I alluded to before, certain features are just fucking broken now. Golf is completely botched, and keep in mind, you need to do golf to actually beat the game fully. From what I've heard from somebody, apparently the CEO is completely busted too right now. The game still works, of course, but looking at history, I don't know. I think if this continues, the game just might end up decaying even further. Clash has already made a lot of very strange decisions. They effectively removed holiday events. No longer are we gonna get the Halloween events where the Battle Pass returns, none of that. I've been disappointed consistently for years that they haven't brought back Counterfeit or Counterclaim, one of the most iconic bosses to come out of the game. I get that it would be difficult, I understand that. They would have to rebalance the boss essentially to fit the current combat system and whatnot, I understand. But come on man, they have had years to fix the boss and make it work in the current system. It's just sad. It's just incredibly disappointing. I have been here since the very beginning, 2018. Some of you may have been around since the Altus days, but I have watched this game go from a really promising new Toontown server with a lot of serious issues to arguably the best way to play Toontown as a whole. I love Clash, but they have made it really hard to do so in the past year and a half. This isn't even touching a lot of the other internal problems that have came up, such as how Clash seems to, for whatever reason, really structure themselves like an actual game company, like a business. I've always thought this was strange, even before the 1.3 days, where they really started to lean into that. Because it's a volunteer effort. It's a Toontown fan game. Yes, you want to act somewhat professional. Yes, maybe it helps boost production. I don't know. But it just feels weird. It just feels very strange to me. And looking at a lot of the Reddit posts, apparently this ended up being a massive detriment. A lot of the higher-ups would just talk in this PR business speak constantly. They really structured themselves like an actual corporation. A game called Toontown Corporate Clash, mind you. There's so much more I could talk about, but I just strongly recommend reading that entire Reddit thread. It's ridiculous. The future of Clash is not looking good, and the game is going downhill fast. I will be shocked if the 2.0 Hammerspace update even comes out anytime soon. Certainly won't be this year. I'd be very surprised if it came out next year. Certain features that were promised for that update, such as Mix and Match, are not coming. That was pushed to be its own update somewhere down the line, if it ever comes out. We haven't seen any update on the new movement system in a long time. And the reception to that was so negative that I don't know if they're even going to go through with it. To give some more examples, the new bat, koala, and raccoon sounds. They were changed just randomly out of the blue, with absolutely zero communication to the community. They didn't ask the community about their thoughts on potentially changing these sounds. They didn't do any of that. When they changed them again, after the backlash, no communication. They didn't do any of that. They did it 3 times before just going back to the original sound. At least for the bat, anyway. Yeah, the bat sounds changed multiple times because every revision they did of the bat sounds just got worse. And if you're wondering why this is an issue, let's go back to 2018 when Outback vs. Barnyard went on. They did a casting call for all of the new species. And it was a full community effort. People were doing their own takes on what each species could sound like. That was genuinely cool, and it got the community talking and engaging with the game. Clash does not talk to the community anymore. They really don't. Look at their Twitter, and most of it is just generic corporate speak, for the most part. They'll release a cute comic every couple weeks or so, but that's it. It's so bland and lifeless. They used to do contests, too. They used to do these seasonal contests where they would give out free exclusive cosmetics. They stopped doing that, too. And it's just incredibly, incredibly disappointing. Corporate Clash has lost so much of its community aspect in the last couple of years. This isn't a new thing. This has been happening since, honestly, around 1.3 came out. I think a lot of the seeds did get planted with that update, but that's another thing of its own. I think, best case scenario, Sheriff Cranky steps down, and whoever is left at Clash to pick up the pieces do everything in their power to get the old team together. This is completely wishful thinking. This is the, again, absolute best case scenario. But I feel like the way Clash is organized has been utterly corrupted to the point to where it seemed as though nobody was having any fun working on the game at all. Because of how corporate it became, it no longer felt like a fun team project fueled by passion. It became just another fucking job for them. And I think once a fun hobby becomes a job, that's when it no longer becomes fun. Almost 2 years ago, I made a video, 20 years of Toontown Online. That video ends on a very hopeful note. On top of TTR finally putting out some incredible looking new content that fundamentally changes the game, something they previously never did. Corporate Clash had just put out 1.3. People went to Toonfest cosplaying the characters and everything. We just got High Roller too. It was an incredible time to be a Corporate Clash player. You know, at the time, the future looked really great. I don't think anyone could have predicted that within 2 years, the game would be almost dead. Now, we have been in this situation before. This isn't 100% a new thing, I will say that much. When Corporate Clash came out, it was an absolute mess. The game would crash constantly, the frame rate and optimization was atrocious, there were desyncs galore, but the base was really, really good. And the team managed to pick it up. It took a long time. It took 2 years almost. But we eventually got the 1.1 update, which added an entirely new boss, entirely new Lawbot HQ. It was incredible. It didn't 100% save the game at the time, but just a year later, we got 1.2. The Litigation Team update, which still to this day is maybe my all-time favorite Toontown update. Going back even further, Project Altus, the predecessor to Corporate Clash. That game was an absolute cesspit run by an absolute madman named Debito, who wanted to put the game on Steam for Christ's sake. The circumstances now are very different to the ones I just explained. But with that said, I'm still very hopeful that history can repeat itself. That even when all looks bad, Corporate Clash could still survive. Not only that, but it can also bounce back. After the Debito situation, we got Corporate Clash. After the really rough launch of Clash, we got 1.1 and 1.2. After Sheriff Cranky, maybe something good can come of that too. But until that day comes, Thanks for all the memories, Clash. It's been a damn good 7 years.